Welcome to CyberCEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. CyberCEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. All right, another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of CyberCEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show right now. Brett, how are you doing today?
I'm awesome, Jello. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for being on the show. We're very, very excited for this. Now, let's get the show on the road. To let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are also business owners, just like you. So I need your help here. Can you introduce yourself to our audience, maybe starting off with, what is your role in the business, Brett?
Yeah, so my name is Brett Caldwell. I'm an operating principal of 7 Keller Williams franchises. It spans about 11 different locations, but 7 franchises. And I've just been around the industry and in the industry since 1999.
Wow, since 99, a
Yeah.
ton of experience right there.
Absolutely.
Just with Keller Williams, is that right?
Keller Williams, and then I'm also an executive MAPS coach, and I specialize in coaching leadership. Actually, it used to be around the country. Now it's around the world. I got clients overseas now.
Wow. I can only imagine what your calendar looks like every day. A lot of appointments, a lot of meetings, I'm assuming.
Life's good. Yeah, I get busy.
There we go. Curious, how did you find out about Cyberbacker, Brett?
Sure. So obviously being in the MAPS world, you start to hear it talked about. But honestly, really, it was top producers talking about this leverage piece and how amazing it was, kind of caught the ear first. And then as you start to hear it enough times, you start to look into things and you really find out what an amazing leverage piece it is, right?
Yes, amazing leverage. Now, how long have you been partnered with Cyberbacker?
Gosh, about a year now. So I guess I'm the greenie, or I'm the new guy. I don't know. I've been doing it just under a year, and I feel like I'm new to the game, but I'm also more experienced than others. I don't know. It depends on the content.
There we go. Now, was this your first time working with someone virtually, or did you have experience before Cyberbacker?
I've had assistants in my life for years. So I'm not new to the leverage game. This is the first time I've experienced that virtual leverage.
Oh.
And, really the pandemic kind of opened the possibility to a lot of that, right? Because even though before I'd have, I call it physical leverage, right? People that worked for me side by side, we were really virtual anyway. And it really kind of opened the idea that, hey, they don't have to be sitting next to me to be highly productive, right?
Yes, of course. Now, since it's your first time working with someone virtually, now I'd like to know, how was the transition to, of course, getting used to working with someone who's physically there to now having to work with someone virtually? Was it difficult? Was it an easy transition?
Easy on one hand, and I had to change a little bit on the other hand. And what I've learned is systems are everything when it comes to leverage. And the reality of that isn't that the prescription for success with leverage is having a system or a checklist, or we talk every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30, or whatever the system is. That's what operates highly efficient leverage. And I got used to the 5-minute, got a minute leadership when we were in the physical world, where I was actually very structured to succeed in the virtual world, and it worked out really well.
All right, perfect. Now, again, they're talking about the checklist. You already mentioned it earlier. What was that specific checklist or the set of tasks that you were going to be leveraging to your Cyberbacker during the beginning? Let's say the first ever list that you created.
Yeah. Well, my story's a little bit unique because my right-hand executive assistant in the physical world had a short-term leave of absence. And so we actually engaged Cyberbacker to kind of fill the void. So those checklists were kind of already in place a little bit. And then there was a learning curve of getting Stephen, as my Cyberbacker, Stephen up to speed. And we started with that regard, but it worked out so well we kept it. And the checklist have really grown over time as I've learned his skill set and what he's capable of doing. And, the ironic part of all this is the checklist isn't full enough. He has more time available in capacity to help me more. I could just figure out how to get him to help me more, right?
Just throw anything that he can basically do, just as long as it's in front of the computer, anything virtual.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, of course, before your Cyberbacker starts with you, you went through the Cyberbacker hiring process. Now, I'd like to know more about your experience there, and how did you know that Steven was the perfect fit for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm no stranger to behavior analysis and understanding all the DISC scores and the behavior assessments and all that stuff. We got to interview them, right? Like they brought me 3 candidates. So they did the HR, they did the recruiting, they did everything and brought everybody to the table for me to interview, which is totally different from the physical world where I had to go recruit, try to find candidates, where that was all done for me. They brought 3 candidates to the table for me to interview. The hardest part was I liked all 3. All 3 were good. And obviously the screening process and the interview process on Cyberbacker's side really did a great job because I had 3 great people to choose from.
Now, how did you know it was Steven, though? Was it during the interview or just felt it, something like that?
Yeah, honestly, Steven was the least qualified.
Oh.
He was, I'll say, young and hungry and excited to learn. And he made comment. I was asking about what he does in his personal time, and he made mention around the fact that he was, very involved with a video game culture, right? And what dawned on me was, in a virtual leverage world, I need innovation. I need people that are used to being on a computer, used to learning new things or new environments. And I thought, man, he had all the cards. He just didn't have 5 years experience working as a corporate executive assistant, which the other 2 did. But he just struck me as somebody that had that can-do attitude, and he was innovative, and I just felt like I could really grow with him. And that's why we chose him.
There we go. How's it going so far with Steven, though?
Amazing. I mean, it turned out to be exactly what I thought it would be. He's got that can-do attitude, never faded. He learns so fast, which to me was important, but it also created the opportunity that there's capacity. Like, he could do so much more than what I'm giving him. I need to give him more, right?
That's definitely true, of course. Next question, though. After the training, we trained Steven under, of course, the training that we provide here in Cyberbacker. So I'd like to know, did that training help you save any time at all?
Absolutely. I didn't train him really at all. I just explained what I was looking for, and then his head backer would go and teach him how to do it. And whether it was internal systems that I use, like a broker metrics, or pulling reports inside of the Keller-Williams environment, or in an MLS environment, I would just explain clearly what I was looking for. And then he would get training on exactly how to go get the information. And it was amazing. And we've since moved into a marketing world where he's doing a lot more marketing for us. And he's getting the training on the back end of how to pull all that marketing together. And he's leveraged for me, but the company Cyberbacker is a bigger leverage point as well, meaning they're training him, they're recruiting him, they're screening him, they're doing all the HR stuff behind the scenes so that he can be incredible leverage for me, that I don't have to go do any of it.
Yes, again there. Also, imagine his role has already evolved, because you mentioned that you're now venturing into the marketing side, right?
Yeah, he loves the marketing. He's like, give me more, give me more, give me more.
So imagine the role has already evolved less than a year. Imagine what you could do in the next 2-3 more years, right?
Oh, 100%. And we're growing big.
There you go. Now, Next question is, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners, but they might not know how to build a productive or a successful partnership with someone virtual. So do you have any pieces of advice for all of our listeners out there who would want to have someone or want to work with someone virtual?
Yeah. So advice, and it's really a coaching conversation, but it's know your worth. And not necessarily know your worth in the sense of what your net worth is or my self-esteem. It's really know my dollar per hour net worth, meaning at some point in time, leverage means I should be able to spend more time in higher dollar per hour activity. And when I spend more time in higher dollar per hour activity, I need to find somebody like Stephen or somebody else that can help me with some of the lower dollar per hour activity. And then as we all grow up together, he gets the same opportunity that I had, right? Like it's the next generation leader or the next generation to a team or a business, right? But the problem, 𝗙𝗷𝗋, is we're all control freaks. Yes, and nobody can do it as good as I can. Get out of the way, I'll just do it faster, right? That whole mindset. And really, to build a big business, you got to get that mindset in check pretty quickly and go, even if they're not going to do it as perfect as I am, it's still leverage for me to be able to go spend time on higher dollar per hour activity. You just got to learn to let go just slightly.
A little
so
bit, yeah.
You can get bigger, right?
I think that's true. I think a lot of the cyber CEOs that I've talked to here on the show would really have that challenge at first, really letting go of a few things. Again, just to focus on the higher dollar activities, of course. That's, I think, the main challenge. But once you get that done, it's just going to steamroll. Your business is going to go bigger, right?
So that's advice one. And advice two would be systems. So building a business, you have to hold the business accountable just as much as people. And what that means is, do you talk we talk every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10:30. And it's a quick check-in 3 times a week. And then we drive all conversation to those 3 days so that we can be efficient in our communication. But then there's plenty of time to go get the work done, right? We don't want to live in meetings forever. But really, the success of building a big business is being purposeful around systems and understanding really the hierarchy of dollar per hour and where leverage tends to allow the higher dollar per hour activities to be spent with the people that, one, have earned it, but two, can get that rate of return.
Yes, I agree with you there 100%. Brett, I have one last question for you, and I'm going to put you in the hot seat here. We've been talking.
One? Right.
We've been talking about Stephen here for a while, and I know he's going to be listening. So I'd like to know, in your opinion, what is the best thing about Stephen, your cyberbacker?
Yeah, I've already said it, but it's literally his can-do attitude. And, one of the things about leverage for somebody that moves really fast is when you hand something off to somebody, do you still have that mind share where you're like, oh, do I need to worry about it? Or can you actually hand it off and just trust that it'll get done? Stephen has earned that with me to where, man, literally I have 100% confidence in everything he does. He exceeds my expectations, which to me is like the biggest gift he could give me. But it's that can-do attitude and exceeding my expectations.
Yeah, we are very, very excited to see where this partnership is going to lead to, let's say, more years to come, of course. And Brett,
yeah,
we really appreciate you being on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of Cyber CEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.